It's Ash from Super Videos, back for another trailer breakdown for an upcoming episode of The Walking Dead. This is my trailer breakdown for Season 10, Episode 15, which is called The Tower. If you missed my reaction to the last episode, you can click the link that's going to drop on the top right to go check that out. But without further ado, let's jump right into this. So the trailer starts with this pretty awesome shot of a tower near Alexandria and what seems to be the herd that Beta summoned at the end of the last episode surrounding the Alexandria safe zone. Now, we don't know necessarily what happened to the residents, but it seems like the residents are missing or they are hiding or something along those lines. But if you take a look at the top of the tower, we do see Beta and some other whispers. Now, for comic readers, we know what's potentially coming in terms of Beta and a specific scene from the comics related to the tower. Not only do we see Beta on top of a tower here, this episode is also called The Tower. So everything is pointing towards us actually seeing that specific moment from the comics in this episode. But then we have this shot of Beta looking down. Now this is inside the Alexandria safe zone and it is overrun by walkers. And there's tons and tons of walkers down there. So it's going to be extremely interesting to see whether anyone dies in this episode or not, or whether we'll even see that, because we might pick up when the Alexandria safe zone is actually overrun. We might not see the herd actually getting there. And the reason why I think they're doing that is because it feels a lot like No Way Out. So they want to not kind of repeat that story again. So they're just giving us the aftermath when the herd has overrun the Alexandria safe zone. But then we have this shot of Beta and some other whispers on top of the tower. One of the whispers says, "No sign of them, they left quickly." So that's what I was referring to earlier when I said no one is around and there's a possibility that they would have left or they're hiding. So this kind of relates to that. And then we have this shot of Beta again at the top of the tower looking at all of the walkers down there. And then we have this shot, Beta says, "Prepare the guardians, we'll walk." So he's just saying, prepare the herd, we'll walk towards where we think they're going to be next. I think that's what he's saying here. They're most likely gonna redirect the herd towards somewhere else that they think the survivors have gone to. Then we have this pretty awesome shot of Princess holding the gun. This obviously connects to what we saw in the last episode when they first met Princess. But we have Yumiko, Eugene, and Ezekiel looking at her. Yumiko says, "What do you want?" And then she answers, "Excuse me, if I wanted to attack, I'll hold the gun like this." Now, she did say something exactly like that in the comics, where she was pretty much saying, if I'm holding the gun like this, it means that there's no threat, I'm not attacking you, but when I hold it like this, that's when I'm attacking you. And I think that's exactly what they're doing here, and they're using the exact comic panel in this specific moment. Then we have this shot of Beta with the herd behind him. This connects back to what he said, "We'll walk the dead or the guardians." So they're most likely on their way to the next place that they think the survivors are held up. And then we have this shot of Beta and walkers all around him. Again, it's going to be very interesting to see what happened to the survivors, whether we'll even see them hide in this episode or we'll kind of pick up afterwards and we'll see the aftermath. So the answer to where they went will come as maybe flashbacks throughout the next two episodes. And then we have this shot of some more walkers and then this shot of a big herd. I think they're most likely all being directed by Beta at this point. Then we have this shot of Judith. She says, "I want to learn what you do." She's talking to Daryl. And then she says, "And how to keep you safe." So Judith just wants to help out. Now, I think this is when the survivors actually escape from the Alexandria safe zone and potentially hide in the woods. Now, like I said, I don't know if we're going to see them actually running away or escaping, or we're going to see the aftermath. And then we have this shot of Judith and Daryl walking away, and there's a walker on the ground. And then we have this shot of Judith killing this walker, stabbing it in the head, and that's pretty much it for that. And then we have this shot of Eugene, Yumiko, King Ezekiel, and Princess. They're on their way somewhere, not exactly sure where they're going, but Princess is most likely helping them get somewhere safe or something like that. Yumiko says, "We got way too many people counting on us to get back home." And then we have this shot of the trio that we saw, Eugene, Yumiko, and Ezekiel, being led away from the city by Princess. And then we have this shot of Alden and Aaron. And again, this is probably when they're hiding in the woods, when Alexandria is attacked by the herd of walkers. And then we have this shot of them looking at the herd pass. And then we have this shot of Lydia And then this shot of Negan looking at Lydia. It's going to be interesting to see what we see between them. Of course, Negan killed Alpha, so it's going to be interesting to see what sort of story we're going to see between Negan and Lydia going forward. Daryl is going to be around as well, and maybe Judith and everyone else as well. I think they're all together at this point. I don't think that they're separated or anything. Or for the most part, I don't think they're separated. I think they're just mostly together, trying to figure out what to do with the herd. And then we have this shot of Yumiko saying missing this meeting is not an option. What she's referring to by this meeting is the meeting with Stephanie. So there's a lot at stake. They can't really miss the meeting. They have to go there. They have to see what it's all about. Everyone back in the community is counting on them. And then we have this pretty interesting shot of the trio and Princess looking at some sort of an explosion. It's going to be interesting to see what that's about. Maybe it's part of a booby trap that Princess set, or maybe someone is setting booby traps. We do know that there were booby traps all around the city they were in. Not exactly sure at this point if Princess was the one that was responsible for that or not, but this might be part of that whole setup as well. And then we have this shot of everyone reacting to the explosion, and then this shot of Beta with all of the walkers behind him. He's obviously at this point leading them towards somewhere. Maybe this is when they're first getting to Alexandria, but maybe it's afterwards when they find out that no one's at Alexandria and they have to redirect the herd somewhere else. And then this shot of Beta and this shot of Daryl killing a bunch of walkers / whispers. It's really difficult to say, but that's pretty much it for this trailer breakdown. Hope you guys enjoyed. Let me know your thoughts and opinions in the comment section below. That's it for this video. See you next time for another super video.